In this video, we are going to go over how to find the circumference of a circle. So we have this formula here for the circumference of a circle. It is going to be 2 times the radius of the circle times pi. Your radius is always the line from the center of the circle out to the edge. So we have in this diagram here to the right. Let's look at an example. In this example, we have a circle with a radius of 9 miles. Our formula, if you remember from the previous screen, is 2 times the radius times pi. So we can just simply fill in what we know. The radius is equal to 9, so we can plug in our circumference is equal to 2 times the 9 times pi. So our circumference is 18 pi, and we need to take a look at what our unit of measure was. Our unit of measure was miles, so we need to go ahead and fill that in. So the circumference of this circle is 18 pi miles. Let's look at another example. In this example, we have a circle with a radius of 7. So our formula, we could take c is equal to 2 times the radius times pi. In this problem, our radius is 7. So we have 2 times 7 times pi, which gives us 14 pi. We need to check to see what our unit of measure was. Our unit of measure over here was feet, so we need to include that in our answer. Our final answer for the circumference of this circle is 14 pi feet. Let's look at a third example. Here we have a circle with a radius of 11, so we can go ahead and plug into our formula. The circumference is 2 times the radius, in this case 11, times pi. So we have 22 pi, and what was our unit of measure? Our unit of measure in this problem was meters, so we need to include that in our answer, and we have our final answer for the circumference of this circle. It's 22 pi meters. Let's look at a fourth example. Here we have a circle with a radius of 12 yards. So our circumference is 2 times the radius, which is 12, times pi. So we have 24 pi. Check your unit of measure. It was yards, so we're going to include that. So our circumference of this circle was 24 pi yards. Let's look at another example. In this circle, we are not given a radius. We are given a diameter. So in this circle, our diameter is equal to 20. If you think back to your knowledge of circles and radiuses and diameters, a diameter is just simply 2 times the radius. And what was our formula for circumference? Our circumference was 2 times the radius times pi. So if we look at this, that 2 times the radius could be substituted with just the diameter. So we still have the information we need. So 2 times the radius is just the diameter, and then times pi. So we can use that information. So for this problem, we were provided a diameter, so the circumference of this circle would be that diameter, 20, times pi, and then what was our unit of measure? It was inches, so we need to include that. And here is our final answer for the circumference of this circle. Let's look at a sixth example. Here we are provided a circle with a diameter of 26. So again, we can use our formula. Circumference is 2 times the radius times pi, what we just learned on the previous screen. It is also equal to the diameter times pi, simply because 2 times the radius is the diameter. Since we know a diameter, we want to use this formula here. So we have the circumference is equal to our diameter, 26, times pi, and what was our unit of measure? In this instance, kilometers. So we have our final answer. Let's look at a seventh example. Here we have a circle with a diameter of 10, so our circumference would be 10, our diameter, times pi, and then we just need our unit of measure, centimeters. There would be our final answer. Let's look at one last example. Here we have a circle with a diameter of 100 feet. We're provided a diameter, so we're wanting to use the diameter times pi for our formula. So we have the circumference is equal to 100 pi, and what was our unit of measure? Feet. So we include that. And we have our final answer for the circumference of the circle.